Recording in progress.
Stopping in, we've been tapping in, we ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in, now let's elevate. Took L's to win, running laps again, this is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight. Stopping in, we've been tapping in, we ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in, now let's elevate. Took L's to win, running laps again, this is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight.
It's you.
It's already out?
Yeah.
I thought we was waiting for the line to go all the way. But it's all right, because we still here. What's going on, y'all? It's episode 72, Heavyweight Bros. You know what I'm saying? Your boy.
Go ahead, I'm sorry, my bad.
As usual, I am your host, the 5XL assassin, the diabolical diabetic. Your boy, the big nasty. To my right is the high yellow hitman, the freaking deacon, Coach Buck. My man, Uncle Raisin, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I am in pain, bro.
Oh my God.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Call myself
Mental or physical?
No, definitely physical.
Okay.
Definitely physical. Mentally, I am in a good space. I am in a really good space. But no,
I mean, you had 2 weeks off to get right.
My bad. I'll take all the pain. I'll take all the blame. But yeah, I recently decided to get myself back in the gym. You know what I mean? I was a gym rat in my days. Now it's like far few in between. Probably worse than that. I've been doing I've been doing this little 3-day thing. So I'm not trying to go super crazy every day, but it's been like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday type thing. And my body's like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Like, I thought we were over this.
It'll definitely be like that.
Like, well, I thought we were over this. What is going on right now? It's like literally me and my body.
Whoa, big fella, you got too much dip on your shit.
I went to walk up the steps, right? Because I work out in the basement, right? So I go up the steps, had a little bounce in myself. I was like, oh yeah. But when I went to go down some stairs, I was just like,
Everything's mad tender.
Right. So I done bought me one of them little guns, the little massage joints. There's no part of my body that it does not help with. I was just like, but it's a slow process, man. We'll see what happens, man. But I'm committed. I'm committed for now. So we'll see what happens. What about you?
I was gonna say, you committed to this. You committed to recording on time. You committed to doing your homework, which. Yo, listen, man. You went to the theater with me twice. So we whatchamacallit. We got 3 movies on deck.
Yep.
But
2 of which I have seen.
You have.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, that's what I'm saying. The commitment is up there.
Yes.
We're gonna get you to 10 movies for the end of the year. That's
I'm 8 away. I'm 8 away.
And
I know of 8 movies that I actually want to see in the theater. So I'm good money.
I'm saying, like, I know that we're gonna start with Insomnia Hour first.
Yes, we are.
On deck, if I'm not mistaken, we have The Last of Us, Abbot Elementary, Mayor of Kingstown.
Yep.
Your Honor.
Yep.
I'm missing something.
Godfather of Harlem. Will Trent. White Lotus.
Oh yeah, that's on me.
Succession.
Oh, did you? Which one? You finished Succession?
Yes, I did.
All of it? How many seasons is there?
3.
We'll get to there when you start talking about it.
All right.
But yeah, so that's what's on deck. Obviously, keep an eye out for the timestamps. Like, they'll all be there. I'm sure there's probably some show on there that you wanted to see or have seen and you just want to hear us talk about it. So, I mean, we'll start with you first because there's like at least 4 of them that I did not get to.
That's fine. Somebody's going to have to do their homework this year because it ain't going to be me.
I'm going to let you know right now, I will fail 2 of those classes. One of those is Your Honor. You can talk about that first if you want.
I'm going to drop this class.
I'm not even going to drop it. My GPA can handle it. I'm going
to start with Will Trent because it's a new show.
Okay.
It stars.
What's it on?
You know, I'll be watching it on the app.
Okay.
Come on, do some research for me.
I got you.
So old boy so you remember when Transformers rebooted with Shia LaBeouf, and they had this.
That was the first one, was Shia LaBeouf.
Yes. So remember when they had the second one, and he had the Spanish friend in it. Remember, he was walking through the security place. He was like, Papa, I got to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
So he's the star of the show. I can't remember what his name is. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to tell me once you look it up. And I'm pretty sure that's him.
So Will Trent is an ABC show. So that means it's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu. There you go. ABC show.
And it's Ramon Rodriguez.
From Transformers, right? Am I correct?
I'm about to tell you right now. You put a lot of pressure on me. What you call it? You just asked me.
My bad. It also co-stars. Remember the black detective from The Wire who ended up getting murked in the car?
He got murked in the car.
Yep, she went on like a transaction, but she like as a cop, but they didn't know she was a cop. Remember, Weebay killed her, and then they told Weebay that was a cop, and that's when that meme came where he's like, "Oh,
Yeah."
So
he definitely was in Transformers.
Yes, okay.
Leo Spitz.
There you go. So he's the star of the show. The detective from The Wire who got murked by Weebay is like a co-star, and then he has
Sonia San.
There you go. And then you have another young
But it's
lady.
gonna kill me if I don't know her. If I don't know her name from Wire.
I can't remember what her name is either. And then he has a supporting actress who looks fairly new. I can't think of anything else that I may have seen her from.
Kima Greggs.
It was.
How
Kima.
would you forget about
it
Kima?
It was Kima.
It hurt my heart to not remember Kima Greggs.
For me, the jury's still out on this one, but to give a synopsis of the show real quick, Will Trent plays a detective, but he's like top-notch detective. His background is like he comes from like group home adoption agency living, and there's two other detectives that he kind of grew up in the group home with. One of which is a male that he doesn't get along with. One is a female that he is in an intimate relationship with. He suffers from it's the same thing Whoopi Goldberg has. Begins with a D, like when the words are backwards for you and it makes it tough to read.
Oh, when you read dyslexia?
Dyslexia. So a lot of his detective work is based off of him like seeing scenes because like he can't write stuff down, so he records when he's at crime scenes and stuff. But like he can literally show up and then be like, "This is what happened," you know. So it's there's been shows like this before. I can't really put my thumb on like what show it might have been that was like that. But
well, I mean, like person with disability is like better than a normal human.
It's like the Detective House. There you go. We were on the same page. So it's not super entertaining, but it's not bad. So I want to see where it goes before I just say I'm all set with it. So it's about 3 episodes in. I'm willing to give it another 2 episodes outside of the initial 3 to see where it goes before I completely shut it down.
But that's as far as you're giving it, is like the 3 episodes maximum?
No, I've already watched 3. I pushed it to 2 more. I'm gonna give it 5.
Okay.
But
it's funny that we brought up House because like there's a girl on the show and I couldn't figure out where she was from.
And
she's definitely from House.
Word?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
It's like Dr. Cameron.
Is
House,
she
the white girl?
Oh yeah, so that might be the one that he's in the intimate relationship with.
Okay.
Yeah. So, 5 episodes. We'll see what happens. But I think I literally just watched it because it had the kid from Transformers in it and Chemo was
He
in
does
it.
enough for you to make you want to watch a show with him started.
He was super hilarious in Transformers for me. I can't lie to you. I can't
believe he bought that much credit from you. Where it's just like, I was funny in Transformers, so you'll watch a TV show started.
Yes, and I can't remember anything else that I've seen him in. I was just like, oh, look at him bouncing back like after all these years. And I'm pretty sure he's been in something else.
If you were to take a guess at what year Transformers came out, what would you guess?
Sheesh, 2006?
Yeah, spot on.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The second Transformers was 2008, the one that he's in, but still, like, just to show you how long ago it was.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I was in high school still.
It's pretty crazy.
I remember I went to go see the first Transformers. I was working at the camp at UConn, and I went with all the basketball players from the UConn men's team to go see it.
That's dope, though. It
was me and the 4'6'11" motherfuckers in a Nissan.
In a Nissan?
In a Nissan Altima.
Oh, no space.
My man Chef Chelios,
no space.
I know you wouldn't get in this chat because you were the one that was driving.
Knees
and
on
I was
chest.
like, why are we in the front seat?
These brothers in the back.
These
knees on chest. Like, yo, fam, we almost there?
Yeah, right.
And you took him to Springfield to the movies? Not even in Connecticut?
No.
You went to Springfield?
No, it was a CT.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, that's disrespectful.
What's the next show you got?
So we'll move on to Your Honor, because we know how much you love Your Honor.
Woo! Top tier.
He's such a hater.
How many episodes of Your Honor is there already? I don't give a damn. No, I'm just okay.
It's been
6 weeks since you looked at me. Sorry.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I think it's been about 2, maybe 3 episodes so far.
Okay. The fact that you can't even remember how many episodes it's been.
Well, a lot of shows started coming out recently, so it's a lot to
So
keep
it's
up
easy
with.
to, when things aren't up to snuff.
If I had to like make a concrete decision, I would say 3 episodes.
Okay.
So basically, the premise of the start of season 2 is not to be too spoilery, but
This is a death of the character.
Brian Cranston.
You're so close.
What is it?
Bryan Cranston.
There you go. So, he was the judge, and the last season ended with his son getting shot in the nightclub. So this one picks up with the story of what happens to the young black kid who shoots the firearm that ends up piercing his son, and what happens with him. The drug dealer lady that was helping that kid, she's like progressing in her character as far as like trying to buy a nightclub, which is right across from the nightclub where the murder happened, which just happens to be a nightclub site / hotel or something like that.
Is it Truth?
Right. And then Bryan Cranston.
For a nigga that's always lying, the name is Club Truth is crazy.
That's out of control. And then Bryan Cranston is actually serving time because after everything happened with his son, they found out exactly what was going on as far as like him hiding the murder, the young man who lost his life in prison, him using his privileges as a judge to manipulate the justice system. So he ended up losing his license as a judge and going to prison. And then that's where everything picks up from there. I like where the show is going. I'm just concerned that the characters that they're trying to develop to carry the show may not be enough.
So is the focus, like now that the son is not there,
right?
So like that whole storyline is gone.
Yes.
So now where the focus is on Bryan Cranston's character?
So I think they replaced the son's character storyline with the kid who shot him storyline.
Okay.
They replace the relationship that Bryan Cranston had with the mayor, with him having a relationship with the daughter of the gangster. Because like
who his son was in love with.
Yes. And then, like I said, they're giving more emphasis to the character of the drug dealing lady and her trying to buy a club. And that's probably going to become something between her and where she's at and them and where they're at. So that's where the premise of the show is going. And they added, my bad, not to neglect, my bad, iconic Rosie Perez has been added to the show. Yes.
Who is Rosie Perez in the show?
So she's the detective who...
Of course she's a detective.
Yes. And she gets Bryan Cranston early release from prison so that she can use him as an opportunity to crack down on all the other filthy people that was involved with his wrongdoing. So that would be like the black guy who I believe is the mayor, the white dude who is the father of the son who was originally like hit on the motorcycle. Yeah, and
was his name Jimmy or something like that?
Yeah. So anybody that's like connected to like wrongdoing, she wants to use Bryan as an opportunity to like...
He's bait.
Yes, basically. And if he doesn't conform to what she's asking him to do, he goes back to jail. And then he goes back to jail as a rat and probably gets murdered in jail or something like that.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. So surprised he didn't get murdered already. But
so he's already back in jail?
No, he's out. So in the first episode, Rosie Perez comes to meet him. She says, "This is what I need you to do." Her first target is the mayor. And she's like, "Yeah, right. You know how it goes." So her first target is the mayor, and she's like, "This is the stuff I need you to do." So that's where it's at. We'll see how it goes. I passed the first 3 episodes. To be honest with you, I almost gave up. They threw a little zinger at the end of the 3rd episode for me to be like, let's see where this goes. I'll give you a couple more episodes. But it's not measuring up to the first season so far.
I looked it up already. Uh-huh. I'm going to see if you know the answer. Okay. This is going to be like a raisin quiz time.
Okay.
What show or what channel, what streaming service is Your Honor on?
HBO?
No.
Showtime?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like it can also be found on Paramount Plus.
Oh, there you go. All right. Okay. What's also on Paramount Plus, as we shift away from Your Honor, is none other than Mayor of Kingstown, which is fire.
It came back, boy. That boy came back with a vengeance.
Yo, listen. Everything that's going on in this show is like from the gate. We taking off all the wheels, straight brake pads, but we not slowing down the speed. Chase is just mad sparks flying off the car, but we still getting down this highway. It's so many different storylines going on, from like the police officer returning back to the prison.
Do you want to give them the synopsis of what the overall theme is of season 2 right now?
I think you would. Oh yeah, of season 2. So picking up from where the last season ended, which was the riot. They had the big riot at the prison. They had like a bunch of prisoners took over the jail for like,
it was crazy,
maybe like 3-4 days. They had imprisoned a bunch of cops. They killed some cops, sodomized some cops. There was a lot going on.
I was very unaware that took place, and they made sure that they let us know that happened. And then, I was like, did I miss that in season 1?
Yeah, well, they didn't actually put it out there, so I think it gave them another storyline to add to season 2, which was pretty smart if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because it kind of like you knew, but you didn't know.
Yeah.
And they actually executed one of the cops as well in front of the black officer, which you know him from, like, he ran the Black Motorcycle Club in Sons of Anarchy. He's always like that positive dad role model. He's also in Tulsa King. He plays a dad in Tulsa King.
You're not gonna say what we really know him from, because like you saying that he's usually a positive person. He wasn't always that kind of guy.
He wasn't. Tell me.
Come on.
Tell me.
Come on. I think you got it.
Tell me. I don't got it.
It's a Big Mama's leg.
Oh yeah. Not so full. Oh shoot. Yeah. So
out there cheating with Faith.
Right. So.
And I'm pretty sure, isn't he Whitney Houston's husband in Waiting to Exhale?
Is he? I would have to go back.
I'm pretty sure that's him. Like, when she's like, it's gonna come back from to me. It's gonna come back around here. I'm pretty sure it's Michael Beach.
You might be right. Yeah, he plays terrible.
That's what I'm saying. He was for most of the 90s, he was a terrible. Like, he was like, almost like where Blair Underwood comes in something. It's like, oh, he's gonna hit a woman at some point in time. Like, that's like he's one of those people
that are the bad guy in a Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah. What's the name of the dude that plays Pinky?
I know you're talking about. I don't know his name.
But he's another one. It's like he's like, oh, he's not.
Menace to Society. Hey man, fix me some of them links with them grits.
Every time he's in something, it's like, oh, a woman's gonna get hit.
Right.
That's what he does.
Yeah. So, Your Honor, my bad, Mayor of Kingstown.
Yep.
So there's several different storylines.
Yep.
But case in point is
everything is the fallout from the riot.
Right. And in the riots, a lot of leaders that either died or they all died. Like the leaders of the gangs and the prison riot, they ended up dying. And a lot of the outside organized crime is run by the leaders inside of the organized crime groups. And because there is no leader in prison, everything outside of prison is haywire. Right. So there's like drive-bys happening, murders happening, fights happening, people taking over territory, all types of crazy stuff happening because there's no head bosses inside conducting the outside, which sounds crazy because you would think it'd be the other way around, but whatever. So,
and I think the big dude lays it out to Jeremy Renner's character perfectly, where he's just like, he goes, yo, man, listen, they out there and everybody's trying to lay claim. It's really Game of Thrones this right now.
Right.
Everybody's trying to lay claim to certain territories and stuff like that. And it's like, what better way to lay claim than to have somebody's head to go on, and so they're head hunting out there. Mm-hmm. And he's like, this is why I'm on top of the roof, bro.
Right. Yeah. And it's crazy because like they want to kill anybody that's a leader, and anybody who steps up into prison to be a leader, they murk them the same day. So it's pretty crazy. So the new storylines is like basically the guy who's the mayor of Kingstown is trying to get everything back under control. Yep, Mike. Mm-hmm. He's trying to get everything back in control and try to get the gangs on one accord, which means like having counsel with the prison guards, which having counsel with the gangs and trying to figure out who's going to be like, as much as y'all don't want for things to be organized,
somebody's got to give.
Somebody has to give. And right now the prisoners are not living in the prison. They have all of them outside in tents and just, it's like they're not even monitoring them. Oh, you kill somebody, that's fine. We're going to drag the body out. Y'all going to keep living. We throwing y'all scraps. Like it's literally crazy right now. The black cop returns back. He's hiding his PTSD from everything that happened from the riot. So the first thing he does when he goes back is beat the crap out of a prisoner.
With the pillowcase still on his head.
And then you have the brother who was stuck in the riot, who transitioned into another county to get away from all the nonsense, only to be caught in more nonsense over there, which is re-traumatizing all while the mayor of Kingstown is trying to protect this girl who's supposed to be in witness protection, who refuses to be in it, which is making things even more hectic. So it's a lot of different storylines.
Not only that, your boy Littlefinger is on the loose, bro.
Oh yeah, the dude who broke out of the prison, and they're just now finding out, like, hey, listen, have you accounted for him? Like, no,
like, we haven't accounted for nothing.
For nothing, like he's probably dead. We're still going through bodies. But is any of the bodies you found his? No. Have you done a head count? No, we can't. They're living outside. It's like, well, you need to do it because he's not going to be dead because nobody's going to kill him. And if he found a way out, he's definitely going to be out. And sure enough, that brother is somewhere out.
We watched him out.
We watched him out.
That brother went out. We watched him walk out season one. It's like that brother is out.
There's so many different ways. Are you caught up?
There was only the one episode, I thought.
No, it's 3 episodes, bro.
Stop playing with me.
The ending of the 3rd episode is crazy. The what they come to as a resolution to making sure that everything goes right is completely out of control. Mike, he eventually talks to the black dude who's the head of the prison guards. He eventually talks to the black dude outside who's the head of the one gang, brings all the gangs together. I won't get too spoilery, but at the end of that episode, you're like, yo, this next episode is going to be wild.
Because that's what he kind of tells him is like, there needs to be a pecking order. And there is no pecking order.
Yes.
And the big black dude pretty much tells him, he's like, yo, it's got to be us.
Bro,
right?
I want to tell you so bad, but I'm not going to tell you because you have to watch it. Because when you do, you're going to be like, oh, and then the black dude has one of the most quotable lines ever. At right towards the end of the episode, I'm like, yo, this man is a G. This man is a G.
You're talking about the gangster black dude?
Yes, yes, the one who was on the roof, like, I'm not letting nobody take my head top off just so they can say that they off me. Like,
I don't know what his name is on the show, but I feel like he looks like a cheese. Like, that would be his name.
Listen, man, he reminds me of Paperboy if Paperboy was not rapping.
Nah, he'd be tripping though. Like, Paperboy is like really cool, calm, and collected. And it's like, I feel like this dude, like, he'd be bugging. And then he'd be like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'm just playing, man. Like that's how he transitions.
Yeah.
I'm very, very surprised we haven't seen him in anything else, though, because I think he's really, really good.
He's doing a great job with it.
And it's like
he's showing a lot of different levels.
I don't know when he's gonna blow, but like at some point in time, we're gonna see him in a lot of stuff.
Because in his role, he's shown drama. He's shown calm intellect, and he's also shown some comedy side.
Yeah.
So I like where it's going. I'm super excited.
I feel like he could be likable, like a Paperboy is like a pretty good example. Is like you could see him in Bullet Train or something like that.
He's one of my favorite characters.
Or oh my god, I lost it. Never mind. I was gonna name a different black guy, but I lost it.
Okay, all right. So we want to move on. I'll throw you one, and we'll go with White Lotus.
Okay.
So I gave it the customary 3 episodes. And then I decided to stop watching. You did continue watching. What was the outcome? Not of the show, but what do you think?
So I watched both seasons.
Okay.
First of all,
how many? It's 8 episodes a season?
It's 2 seasons. The first episode is 6. Their first season is 6 episodes.
Okay.
Second season is 7 episodes.
Okay, I thought it was
each episode is about an hour long. So it wasn't a hard watch through.
Okay.
It is on HBO Max. Also, Mayor of Kingstown is on Paramount Plus.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? For anybody looking for that. The premise of White Lotus is the White Lotus is the name of a hotel branch. It'd be like staying at the Hilton. You stay at the White Lotus. And each season starts off with a murder. And a murder that takes place. So like the whole reason you're watching the show is to try to see if you can figure out who is the person that got murdered for the most part. But it ends up becoming this thing where it's usually the episode before the finale where I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot somebody died this season. And I have to figure out what it is. Because like it really is like a show. And I said it to my friend and I was like, I think that this would be good for you because I feel this show is built for nosy people. Because like all it is like you're just in these families' vacations and you're watching their drama and like them go through the ins and outs of certain things, and then somebody dies at the end, and it's like you completely forget about the whole murder aspect of it while you're watching it because you're just really just invested in like these stupid relationships that these people have.
You kind of ruined the season.
How did I ruin it?
Well, somebody dies, we know that, but you just said that they were murdered. They could have just accidentally died.
No, in the very beginning of the first episode, they're like, there's a body found, and they're like, yeah, this person was murdered. That's what they say.
I don't think he said that. He just said there's a body getting on the
Well, in the beginning of season 2, there's bodies that are floating in the water
Word?
and stuff like that. So like, there's
Jeez.
multiple people. So like they got
Jeez.
murdered. Like something happened.
And is it the same characters in season 2?
It is not. So
Okay, all right.
So season 2 is also in a different location. They're in Italy in season 2.
Okay.
I can't remember where they are in the first season.
No, me either.
But Jennifer Coolidge just won a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress for season 2 of White Lotus, and I thought she's the only character that was on both seasons. She's the older white woman. And she's like, I have a little problem with my neck. She's from Legally Blonde.
Oh yeah.
She's
Stifler's mom. There you go.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, to be fair, like she's the only character that appears in both seasons, and I was like, she's really the only character that I cared is in both seasons.
Right.
Like a lot of them, I don't want to say they're forgettable, and I think that this is what White Lotus kind of like
Messed up.
No, it's the opposite. Where it's like I think the best thing that they did is every season is separate from the other one.
Right.
Where it's like it's completely different. You can have a whole different cast because like the second season.
That's
that's
how what you call it was. It had Ben Affleck in it one season, then another season it had Chris Rock in it. It's like an old time joint, conspiracy joint. Go ahead, keep going.
You killed me, bro. You killed me. Whatever momentum I had, you just killed it.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
But so the second season winds up having the kid from you watch Sopranos?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I watched Sopranos.
The young guy, what is it, Michael from Sopranos? What's his name? He's a part of it, stuff like that. But like that's really what it is. It's a murder mystery show, but it's like
Fargo. I'm sorry.
Ben Affleck was in the season of Fargo?
He was in the movie, I think.
Yeah, I think he is in the movie.
Yeah.
You're right. Damn. Crushed me again.
Sorry, I keep derailing you. I apologize.
Yeah, so White Lotus, I think it's pretty good. So like apparently season 2 is where the fans really, really latched onto it.
Okay.
And like, if the ending of season 2, the season 2 finale was definitely an uptick in like actual things like transpiring, because like even like my friend that I was watching it with, like I was like, yo, like whatever happened in the season 2 finale, I was like, I felt like if this is what this show was the whole time, this would be like the #1 show on TV.
Right.
And like she said the same thing. She was like, oh my god, like she was like, I've been waiting 2 seasons to feel like this about it, because it's like not only is it the mystery of it, but then it's like you're starting to get the thing is like, oh, I can see where this is going. I know who it's gonna be. They got it, like stuff like that. But it's like they don't do it like that in the first season.
Gotcha.
And for the most part, it isn't really like it's not like Glass Onion, where it's like it's not a whodunit and it's like you're trying to put, it was because he had this motivation and this and this. It's like they are just like these frustrations that just build up between people, and it's like you just don't know how it's going to explode in a sense.
Gotcha.
But like the way that it starts to trickle down in season 2, and I think the season 2 also the fact that it's in Italy and a lot of the people that are in it are from America and they're on vacation, so like there's a lot of added pressure like on that is like like how am I gonna get home, or like what am I gonna do, like stuff like that. It's a lot of added stuff to it. I did think it was very good. I don't think it's great, and
I agree.
As we're putting things on like like must sees and stuff like that, I don't think it's a must see, but I think it's a like right underneath like a should see.
Time burner.
No, like I'm trying to think like a should see is like, oh man, like you should see this, like it's really good.
Right, of course.
But it's like if all of the should sees are gone, there's like you can't see?
Yeah, it's a time burner.
I think when we initially talked about this, we talked about it in basketball terms.
Yes.
And it was like, is this a star player or an all-star? It's like, no, but it's a good 6-man.
You think it's a good 6-man?
It's a good 6-man. It's like, oh, like
I think it's
all of my other shows are tired or they're running. I was like, I can bring this one around. It's like, it'll entertain me.
I think it's a role player. I think what you're describing is a role player.
You also didn't finish it.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
I'm not going to.
I was gonna say, because I'll let you know, like if you're in
Sound
it,
like I could not finish season 1 and watch season 2 and still be entertained.
Can't. They're completely separate entities.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is like it's going to be the same way for you, because it's like you're on these journey with these people.
Right.
So it's like, all of it before you get to the finale and before you get to the murder, like all it is just laying out people's cases or reasons of why they would want to hurt somebody else for the most part. Because that's another thing too, is like when you watch a murder mystery, usually the person's already dead,
Right.
and we all know who the person is. It was like, who could have killed Colonel Custard? It's like, you see everybody's reaction with Colonel Custard,
Right.
But it's like they don't show you who the body is or anything like that, so you just don't know who it is. It could be anybody.
Right.
It could be somebody's wife. It could be somebody's girlfriend, somebody's mom. Like, could they have died from like just a regular heart attack? Did they get stabbed? Did they get shot? Did they drown? There's a lot of things that come in with it.
Right.
But I do think that the season 2 mystery is better than the season 1 mystery. But I do think it was a pretty decent show overall.
Okay. All right. You got anything else? Or you want?
Nah.
All right. Seeing what we got left, I'm gonna go on to Godfather of Harlem.
Okay, so I just want to say, like, I know I give you, like, I was just like, I'm not watching it.
Right.
I'm not saying that I'm not watching it because I'm not interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
I say like I'm not watching it because I know I'm very far behind because this is the third season.
Third season.
That's what I mean, and that was a lot of catching up I was going to need to do to get in there.
I want to say it's super consistent with what it's been doing for the first 2 seasons.
Because you're 3 episodes in right now?
3 episodes in.
Okay.
The only thing that's kind of throwing me off is they changed the Malcolm X character. So the first 2 seasons were, I'm pretty sure the same guy who played him in One Night in Miami is the same one who plays him in the TV show, who has done a great job. So visually, that's who was playing Malcolm X for me. And then they switch it to this other gentleman in the 3rd season, and it kind of like throws it off a little.
Okay.
So it's just like, not that it's not good acting, it's just like, it's kind of like if you go to your favorite restaurant and you order the same thing and they're just like, hey, we got the same meal, but it's a little different, but it is the same thing, but it's really not. And it's just like, it's just not as impactful. It's not that it's bad. It's just not like what I'm used to, you know?
Yeah, it's like just like anytime anybody recasts like anything, like there's different Batmans, you feel a different way about different Batmans. Like that's not my Batman. That's not my Superman. That's not like, you know what I mean? It's just like you got recasted, bro. It's like, hate to break it to you.
Right. So some of the new things that they're dealing with in the new season is character development. So Bumpy Johnson's oldest daughter is getting more prevalence in these first few episodes of this season, as far as like her journey and connection to Malcolm X and like what she's doing as far as like Bumpy Johnson's daughter, who's really his granddaughter, knowing that. Dag, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you. But that's okay. Easy to know. Like that's in the first few episodes. But
it's okay.
Yeah. So she starts to build that relationship with her daughter because she was strung out on drugs. So Bumpy was taking care of the daughter as his daughter, and now she knows that that's not her sister, that's actually her mother. So they have recasted the daughter, and she's now like older now. So the young girl who was there before is no longer on the show. There's an older version of the daughter, and they're seeing like her intellect starting to come into play, and how now she sees what's going on as far as like understanding that Bumpy is a drug dealer and that this was her mom and she wasn't her mom at the time because she was strung out on drugs, and like the things that she has to think about as a young lady growing up in this household where it's like 2 moms, a dad who's a gangster, and like where does she fit in? Bumpy's always going to be Bumpy, going back and forth with the Italians. His wife is like, her character is getting built a little more because she's now working with Gus, who is like the senator or mayor in Harlem, and she's like working as his secretary maybe, but it's just like right. So like they're doing a lot more character development, and they brought a couple new characters, a couple new Italian dudes, a couple dudes got off. So they're basically just going through the story, but they're making sure to keep you entertained, and I'm gonna keep watching it. I like it. Strong 6-man.
Do you know where you can watch Godfather of Harlem?
Showtime? I want to say Showtime, but no. It's on Hulu.
It is on Hulu.
It is on Hulu. You want to know why I know it was on Hulu? Because when I had COVID and was on my deathbed, that's what I was watching the whole time. That's how I caught up the first 2 seasons of Godfather of Harlem, because I'm laying there in the bed like there's nothing else to watch. I was like, come on, Forrest Whitaker, don't let me down.
So it's a good 6-man.
It's a good 6-man. Definitely a strong 6-man. Moving on from Godfather of Harlem, we have Succession.
Okay. So now that was the original thing, was like, one of us is going to watch Succession, the other one watch White Lotus.
Yes.
Apparently you watched White Lotus, but I was supposed to watch White Lotus, but it's fine.
Yep.
You didn't bang with it. You jumped to Succession.
Yes.
There's 2 seasons of Succession?
3.
You banged out all 3 seasons?
Yes.
Okay, because I know it's getting ready to come back out.
Yeah, so it's like, believe it was 10, and then the last season for some reason only had 9 episodes. So I was thinking that this may be the current one, but I feel like I've been watching this show long enough over this time for there to have been a new episode out, and I haven't seen one. So
I was just looking up where it's on. Apparently, you can watch it on HBO Max, Hulu, and Amazon Prime.
wow, okay, they're everywhere.
I know it's a very highly touted show.
Yes.
So like I know that people look forward to Succession. I mean, it's a big time show.
Well, I think the first interest came from, because I've talked with this with like some of the guys I coach basketball with, a couple other TV buffs that watch a lot of shows, and a lot of people believe that it's like a true representation of the Murdochs.
Okay.
Which is basically like a guy who had like a real television broadcasting company in Canada.
Well, what's the premise of Succession? Because I have not started watching it yet.
So it's all about who's going to succeed this guy who's running this multi-billion-dollar company where they like control the media, newspaper, which also goes into like
so conglomerate
stocks,
like, kind of
everything.
like if Ted Turner died or something like that, because like he has Turner Movies and he owns all that stuff.
Right. So the way it starts is with, so he's a father of 4. He has 3 sons and a daughter, and they all believe that they would be a good person to take over the company whenever he steps down.
Why does everything sound so Game of Thrones-ish?
Right.
Why does that
But this guy is...
his claim to the Iron Throne is stronger than yours.
Right. But this guy is so cocky that he's just like, he manipulates his children into thinking they're going to be the one, and then he changes his mind and they're not the one. And not only are you not the one, I'm not going to step down and I'm going to keep running this company. Like, there's literally a point when they're in a helicopter and this man has like a stroke and is in a coma and comes back from the coma like a month or 2 later and gets right back to taking care of the company. Like, he has a son that like they all weirdly love him and each other, but they all oddly treat each other like crap. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's so crazy to watch.
Their love language.
It's crazy. I think the one who's like completely reckless with their mouth and their actions is Macaulay Culkin's little brother.
Rory Culkin?
Yes, who plays one of the brothers. The guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the one whose dad had the nice Porsche.
Cameron?
Yep. He plays the eldest son.
Okay.
The daughter, I can't remember what she's from, and then he has another son.
So there's 4 sons.
There's 3 sons and 1 daughter.
Kieran Culkin, not Rory Culkin.
Oh, there you go. Yep. So Kieran Culkin. So he's the youngest son. He's the next son.
Kendall Ray.
Yep. That's the sister. I don't know where she falls in, and then he's the oldest, which is the guy from Ferris Bueller.
Okay.
He's the husband of the daughter, so he's like the daughter's husband is trying to find his way into the company and be a part of the Roy family tree. Yeah. Then he has a brother that he shares the company assets with, but the other brother wants nothing to do with the company because he says they're reckless, they're evil people. Like, he's worth like $250 million. But his grandson wants to be part of this. So like, he's doing everything to get his foot in. And his grandfather's like, don't deal with these people. He's like, okay, grandpa, but he does anyway. It's just like, it's crazy because everybody's got their eye on like taking over. Like, even the people within the company that's like his advisors and board members, like they're all thinking about how they could move up into the position. And then people who buy stocks and board chairs into the company are like, well, maybe we can buy your dad out and get him out and we can take over. And somehow, some way, this man keeps outwitting everybody to still be sitting at the top seat. And he's just literally like, I feel like from his position, he's literally testing to see who could actually be the person, because he's not going to be alive forever. Mm-hmm. But he's testing to see who can actually be available to be the type of person that needs to run this company, like more like him. Like he's forcing them to do things to build out their killer instinct, or to learn how to make deals, or learn how to talk to people. But through all the learning and stuff that they're doing, he's still saying you're not good enough. And it's crazy because this is literally what it is, and it's just, you just feel like he's gonna die in the office one day, and then somebody's gonna have to take over. But
so he doesn't have like a will. Like they don't know who's in the will.
I mean, the will wouldn't require the company because there's board members and stuff. So like that's how that would work. As far as the will, they would probably just get like assets and money that goes to them, but you wouldn't just generally get the company, because like if you're his son and you have 2% stock in the company, but I'm a board member and I have 4%, I have more right to take over the company than you do. Sure. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's really crazy. It's really crazy. It's like at one point they were all trying to band together saying like, hey, he's off his meds, like he's not really making sound decisions. And then
who plays the dad?
I'm trying to think what he was in. He has been in some stuff.
Oh, it's Brian Cox?
Yes.
William Stryker from the X-Men movie?
There you go.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Savage.
Straight savage. Yeah. Say less.
Like, there was like one episode where he doesn't take his medication. So he literally is really loopy, and he's making all these crazy decisions. He's thinking like his daughter is his sister and stuff like that. And they're like, he's off his rocker. We got to make this decision right now. This man gets an IV, takes his medication, comes back. Like, yeah, none of y'all are doing nothing. And he's like, oh, well, somebody needs to hear F him. No, you really need to talk. No, I don't. They need to talk to me. And it's just like, yo, this brother is just like out of control wild. And then it's like,
I can tell by your face, you love the show, apparently.
It's super entertaining. It's sorry to our Caucasian viewers, but I like to see white people at their truest form. And I feel like this is one of those shows that shows exactly like what is happening at the
Hunter,
highest.
Out in Tennessee right now is pissed. Reports.
Hey, listen, I'm sorry.
This right here is reverse racism.
Listen, man, if you want to, you can go and watch Shameless, and we can have the same conversation. But it's just like listen, these are, if it's based off of possible true events, these how you are really behaving with your power and how people are being treated, and some of the cover-ups that are happening.
So is it more just like not a specific race of people, but like the 1%? You
can say that too. Mm-hmm. It just happens that everybody in the 1% happens to be Caucasian. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad at me. It is what it is. Don't be mad at the facts. There you go. But, and don't post your scars in your bio. If it hurts, it's for a reason.
Wow, that came from no one.
But yeah, I it's an enjoyable show.
Where is it rank?
Oh, starting 5. It's in my starting 5 right now.
Are you watching that? Or are you watching Mayor of Kingstown first? Both episodes.
Mayor of Kingstown.
Just checking.
Mayor of Kingstown put out 2 episodes right now. It's Succession put out a season. I would watch Mayor of Kingstown's both episodes again before I went to Succession.
Gotcha. Just checking.
Mayor of Kingstown is a franchise player right now.
Oh, excuse me.
Franchise player right now.
I didn't realize Mayor of Kingstown was Damian Lillard.
Yeah, no, it's not Damian Lillard, because that man Pat Bev was like.
We gotta stop letting Patrick Beverly do anything.
I thought Pat was gonna take his Laker jersey off and throw it in the crowd.
And you can tell everybody. Nobody's the king of regular season championships. Like Patrick Beverly.
Love it. I love it.
I don't.
I love it. It's so entertaining.
When he ever got on the radio talking in the morning and was talking about like how fraudulent Chris Paul was, I was like, brother, you were a role player on the Timberwolves last year. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's like, I locked people up. He gave you 30. He gave you 40. He gave you 27.
What do you call it? He called Chris Paul like a traffic cone.
Yes.
Or something like that. Yes. And I was just like, yeah, but like you were traffic cone on offense, bro. Like you were just in the way.
What you want me to tell you?
You were just a moving screen.
You have just as many steals as you do points. What you want me to tell you?
You've been stealing money from these organizations. That's where you lead the league at.
All right, so we got let me see: Succession, White Lotus, Will Trent, Godfather of Harlem, Mayor of Kingstown, Your Honor. Last but not least,
you save the last. You save the last of us.
Yes, I'm gonna lead this one to you.
What do you want to lead to?
I'm gonna let you go through this one because I know that this TV show stemmed from a video game that I have not played, that I know that you were playing. You were super excited. I keep sending you videos of how the video game is word for word the TV show.
Bro, word for word, bar for bar. They stole my whole flow.
Yes,
It's in, like literally, like I'm watching it with my brother, and like we just keep looking at each other. We're just like, this is incredible.
This is, yeah.
Like, this is like
And
this is exactly what this looked like.
And the show is enjoyable for me, so I can only imagine how it is for like avid gamers who have played this game, like both versions of the game, and know where this show is gonna go, where it's already starting, and how they're paying homage to the game. And it's just like,
I wouldn't even call it paying homage. Like it's like it's wearing its skin, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yes. So go ahead.
But I was gonna say,
tell us what the show's about.
The main synopsis of the show is there's a virus that spreads across the world and leads to sort of like a zombie apocalypse. So we are I believe we're in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, in the show. Am I wrong in that?
Say that again.
I believe we're in 2023 because I believe the virus spreads in 2003.
Yes.
And it's been 20 years. So we are now in 2023 and we are living in a society of where the best thing that you can call them is zombie type characters. I don't believe that they call them zombies in there though. I think they call them clickers or something like that. But we follow Joel, who's like our main protagonist, and like Joel is trying to get to his brother at an outpost that he has not heard from in quite some time.
Right.
But in order for him to get there, he needs to get a car battery, so that way he can get a truck, so that way he can complete his mission.
I think he already has a truck. He needs a battery, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He needs to get this battery so that way he can put it in the truck, so that way he can get going.
Right.
And it just goes to show like just how scarce resources are at this time, where it's like they can't get like anything like that. So in order for him to do it, he is tasked with delivering a package to an organization. It turns out this package is a young girl.
Yes.
Named Ellie.
Yes.
Who's like our second main character, co-main character, co-star, whatever you want to call it. And so we've only gotten 2 episodes in. So I don't know if you want to go episode 1 and then talk episode 2, or if you just want to overarch it.
You can overarch it. Yeah, overarch it.
I was going to say, so like now we're at the point where Joel has discovered that Ellie, one of the reasons why she's being dropped off, because like that's the thing he can't figure out, is like, why do we need to drop her off? It is because she is immune to the virus, and he needs to get her to the Fireflies, which is an organization that has doctors that can try to cultivate a cure using her blood.
Right.
So that's the whole synopsis of it. Is I'm going to drop this girl over here so that way I can get this car battery. They will find a cure. Everything gets fixed.
Right.
Episode 1 is like kind of like the pre-virus time. It's like, the virus is hitting in real time, and we're seeing the panic and everything that sets on. From that, we see Joel and his brother trying to make their way out of time with his daughter, and just the chaos that ensued, and trying to escape that they weren't really able to, and all of that eventually led to the death of his daughter, which he's. It's funny because like in the show, like I was just saying, like they describe him in a certain way where they're just like, he's not the type of person you want to get on his bad side. And
the lady said it. She was like, "We are not good people, just so you know."
Yeah, we are not. And whatchamacallit. So like I looked at my brother and I was like, "Yo, could you imagine if like you owed Joel some money and they told you that Joel was looking for you?" I'd be terrified.
I'm gonna find him.
And like she says that, she's like, "Yo, I need you to chill out because he's terrified of you."
Right.
And he's like, he looks at him like he should be. And he's like, and I'm like, I'm terrified of him, and I'm not even there.
Right.
My man
Dude was shook before he even knew that he was gonna find out. She was like, "I gotta kind of tell him." He's like, "No.
Yeah,
no.
He's like, "I will let you go if you don't tell me."
Right.
Like,
and you can take the battery.
Yeah, like
everything's free.
Right. So Joel is a smuggler. His partner in crime is a woman named Tess. And Tess was originally in charge of finding the battery. She did have a battery. There was a guy who was supposed to sell it to her, but what he eventually did is he found somebody who wanted it for a different price, and he sold it to that person instead. So this is why they're stumbling. He then resold it again. Her and Joel tried to hop and jump the meeting where they were getting the battery, so that way they could just steal the battery. But like when they get there, there winds up being a Firefly safe house that got raided, and like this is where they now get the mission where Ellie is put on them to go further. So like now they're kind of like in the beginning of the first episode, Ellie had gotten bit, or they had used a scanner on her, and that's how they figured out that she was infected.
Right.
We begin the second episode, and we get to see, is it Indonesia? I believe they were.
Yes.
Where it's like we get to see like the legit first responders to this whole thing.
Yeah,
and
man.
What a thorough opening scene, bro.
When dude said, "What should we do?"
And she looked at her, she's like, bombs.
Bomb everything and everybody here. And she was speaking for herself too. Like, bomb everybody and everything here.
She said, "Can somebody bring me home? I feel like I should be with my family.
Right.
Y'all can drop these bombs.
Right.
I'm gonna be with my family when I do it." Because like she's some sort of expert on eventually it's a little bit different in the video games about like how the infection starts, because they never really get into that piece of it. Right. But the show is like, it's like a fungi. Yep. Who is eventually it has evolved to a point now where it can send spores that can control other living organisms to do the bidding that it wants to do. And I guess it used to do it with insects and things of that nature. It would do it to like ants and things like that nature. But as time has gone on, it has allowed this thing to evolve to the point where it can now do it to humans. So that's what we see is like they get into there, and then like you see like these little like weird tendrils that come out of the people's mouth, and it's like just like a zombie. You get bit, that thing infects you, and then now all of a sudden it makes you do the same thing. Right. And
I was watching some dude's video. I don't know how true it was, but he was talking about how it spread across like all of the world, and he was saying like it had started in Indonesia, and then it started at a packing plant, and at that packing plant they were packing flour. And so that flour that got distributed out to all across the world was infected flour. And as people were cooking and eating things with that flour in it, that's how they were becoming infected. And the reason the main character and his daughter didn't was because in every corner of that first episode, they avoided something that was baked. So like when she went to the old people's house, the guy was feeding his mom biscuits made with baking flour, so they ended up infected. The lady offered her cookies. She was going to eat them, but because they weren't chocolate chip and they were raisins, she didn't eat the cookies. And the dad was working overtime, so he forgot to pick up his cake to bring home so they can eat cake. So at every turn, they avoided something that had flour in it, which is why they didn't get infected like some other people.
I'm going to use my one swear per episode right now. Okay. You just blew my fucking mind.
Yeah! Bow, bow, bow. I don't have moments like this often. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I did not pick up on that.
Oh yeah.
I had not seen any videos that had described that. It's not something that is described in the game either. I thought it was just a bite thing, but saying that, it all makes perfect sense and it all fits seamlessly together. So I think it's a very, very valid theory.
It's not mine. I just happen to watch it.
I know. It's a very, very valid theory, and I think it's super dope. And like as you're saying, I'm like, whoa, like that's like I feel like Keanu Reeves, like, whoa. Like I'm like,
I'm glad I could give you that moment.
Man, I kind of want you to send me this video now too, because I'm like,
I did. I think I did send it to you.
Probably. I was mad at you the other day, so.
My bad.
A lot of things got sent to the recycle bin.
Okay.
So, right. There was a lot of stuff that I was going to send you to, and I was like, he doesn't deserve it.
You denied me laughter?
I did. He doesn't deserve joy. You had me sitting on the couch like when your dad's supposed to pick you up and your mom comes over and she's like, your dad's not coming soon. And he's like, that's what it was.
So just for y'all who know, we were supposed to record last week on our traditional day like we're supposed to. I'm waiting for Joel to show up. And I freaking fall asleep on the couch. He comes by, I guess kicks it with my family, hangs out for a little bit, leaves me slumped on the couch, and then ends up leaving. And we don't record. So
he also didn't say anything, like about like how we couldn't do it, and then waited until the very next day to be like, my fault, fam, fell out.
Bro,
It's just like,
I
no,
woke
it
up
is-
on the
it
couch.
is 17 hours
I woke
later.
up on the
bro.
couch. I even told my wife, like, yo, why did you not wake me up? You looked so peaceful. Like, I don't want to hear that.
She was like, he's been really stressed out. He's been doing like a lot. I was like, damn, I felt bad too.
Listen, man. That couch
That
did
doesn't
a
mean you
number.
can't respect my time.
That couch did a number on me. Please wake me up. Don't leave me on that
I
section.
feel like this is a sleep number commercial.
Right.
Like you and Dak Prescott was both asleep.
I woke up, was like, I was moving like one of the zombies in The Last of Us, like, get off this couch. Right. That's like, my whole body was clicking, but yeah, I apologize. That's on me.
Are we getting spoilery into it? Like, because there's
Share
a pretty
decision.
pretty decent.
I mean, I feel like if people have played the video game and everything that's all over social media, they should know what's going on by now.
So how about this? We'll give like our thoughts on the first 2 episodes 1st. We'll say where it ranks, and then we'll go spoiler talking.
Starting lineup for me.
I think it's a franchise player.
Yep.
Without a doubt. And like,
If Mayor of Kingstown is Steph, then Last of Us is Clay.
damn. What about when Kevin Durant was on the team?
Who's going to be, what's the third show?
No. I'm just saying that when Kevin Durant was on the team, who's Kevin Durant? Who's Clay?
I would, dang. So I would say Mayor of Kingstown is Steph. I would say The Last of Us is KD. And I would say Clay is Succession. Boom. There you go. There you go.
What you call it? So what you're saying is that Last of Us is going to move on to bigger and better things. Nothing was better. He moved on to different
But the
things.
other two is still going to win the championship without
Yeah,
it.
Man, fuck Kevin Durant.
Oh, shoot. You okay?
That was for B-Biz because I know he's watching this right now. You're not about to sit here and tell me he's not better than Bagless Braun. Like, all right.
The same guy who told Brooks and them to shut up, or Uncle Shannon that came down and banged on somebody's neck.
That same guy.
Well, that man Shannon was wearing a $3,000 cardigan sweater.
You want to know? I know we're probably going to get into that in swords and stuff, but I just want to say real quick, like, you want to see the clear, like, disconnect between cultures. When you listen to black people talk about that event and white people talk about that event, white people say, hey, he had this big ugly sweater on and like big goofy sweater. Every black person was like, yo, that sweater was fire. Bro. Fire. And
even JJ Redick was like, aside from all this beef, can we please look at this cardigan
This
sweater
sweater.
that this man
Killing
has
it,
on?
bro.
I was like, yo, listen, mind you, if you see the picture of the sweater, that joint looked like full
looked
Hobish
awful.
Kanye West catalog.
It looked
like,
awful.
It can't,
But
like
on Shannon?
Yo, on Shannon, man, that joint had that joint draped
Yo,
over.
I know you've seen the picture of him looking back and it looks like an album cover too.
They have made it an album cover.
Yeah.
They have made him
no gift.
they have made him like a superhero. They made him what's the joint? Remember when Drake made the 21 Savage song and they made him a wrestler?
Yeah.
So they made Shannon a wrestler with the cardigan sweater on. He's like slamming somebody in the ring. I'm like,
Is it Dylan Brooks?
yes, I'm thinking it.
They were saying that his wife beat her snaps at the bottom. I'm sorry, we got so off track. We're supposed to be talking about Last of Us.
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But to me, franchise player, to you, starting 5 or star player? Where you at with it?
Yeah, starting 5 for sure.
Okay.
Starting 5 for sure. If you went anywhere else and wasn't already on this roster, you would be a franchise player anywhere else.
But from here on out, we'll go spoiler. I'm pretty sure this is the last show we're talking about anyway.
Last show.
So, like, if anything, we'll see you in Popcorn Poppy when we talk about movies.
Mm-hmm.
But from here on out, it is a spoiler. So the big thing that happens at the end of this episode is first we get our first up close and personal look at the clickers.
Yep.
Very reminiscent of Walking Dead. Walking Dead.
Yes.
And it's hard to not compare the two shows.
Right.
Because, like, it's zombie apocalypse show, whatever.
Yeah, these clickers is agile though.
Yeah.
These dudes is athletic.
Right. And it's like they got no eyes.
Yeah.
Because they're covered by
Except for the one
fungi.
dude that made out with Shorty.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh,
Because that was like the baby ones. But then, like, the big thing that happened is Tess dies.
Yes.
So, like, I was talking about this with my brother because we both played this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, doesn't Tess die, like, way later in the game?
Mm-hmm.
And we were having a very tough time, like, with the timetable of this game because, like, you spend, like, 20 to 30 hours playing this game. So it's hard to remember, like, where everything fits in.
Right.
But I was just like, she is an important character in the game, but she's more important as a martyr than she actually was as a character. And then like that's what we came to. And I was just like, does it really matter where she dies as long as we get the significance from her?
Right.
Because it does go almost exactly the same way. The only difference is in the TV show, she winds up getting killed by other zombies, things of that nature. She goes out in the blaze of glory because she got bit. In the game, they go to bring her to the rendezvous point and they get ambushed by a different organization that's trying to kill Ellie. So they're in this place and they can't get out. They're right on them. Tess has already been bit. She can already feel the things coming, and she sacrifices herself, gets killed by this group, and it kind of gives them like another thing of just like, yo, bump this group. Like, yo, now they've made our shit list type of deal. But like I feel like the impact of it was still felt the same exact way. Like it was just like, damn. Like you weren't super close to her in the games. Like you had a whole mission before where it's like that guy that winds up dying. That's like a whole mission in itself. It's like, oh, we gotta find him, find out where he's at. We're gonna go to his factory, and he's gonna be on the run from us because he's scared of us. Right. And then it's like we're gonna get the information about the car
for
battery.
the sake of gameplay.
Yeah. You know, it's like it's all this other stuff, but it's like at the end of the day, the end mission is still the same. Right. And it's like we got to assume that this is going to be a 10-episode show. We cannot pinpoint. We're like, where is this season going to end?
Going to end at right. Because there's
like,
so many cliffhangers.
So many.
You can stop. You could have stopped after this last episode and be like, all right, see you next season.
It's gonna, and this is like, these are baby steps in this game. Like, it's just like, there's so much more that's going to come that's just wild.
I believe it.
Like, I would say like the intro scene, incredible. And I'm talking about word for word, bar for bar.
Right.
Like
even the daughter wearing the same shirt,
the
as
same
the girl
tee. Like the only thing is she black.
Game. Right.
And like I think it hasn't even really been brought up, but like the race swapping of characters in this game. Yeah. For the most part, it's everybody, but it's like, you know, the main people are Tommy and Joel, and then the daughter. The daughter obviously, you know, dies in the first episode. She dies very early in the video game in the exact same manner. But like, I feel like them being a different race kind of adds to it. Like it doesn't, not only does it not the same, it doesn't take away from it. I feel like there's more to it because of the fact that like they're Mexican, Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Latin America. Would you say Latin America? Hispanic?
Latinos.
Latino. Latinx.
Oh no, never Latinx. Let me take this microphone real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
There is not.
Get your stuff off. Go ahead.
First of all,
you done blocked the camera.
Listen.
You going in?
I know the alphabet's be coming for everybody, and they want everybody to be represented in a certain manner, and they want to give people certain names, and they want to put everybody in certain categories.
Preach.
Back in the day, the El Salvadorians, the Spanish. The Haitians, the Dominicans, everybody agreed on one thing. We're all Latinos. That's all there is to it. We can't agree on Jack. We can't agree on nothing. Nobody can agree what their race actually is. Nobody can agree where they're from. We're all just a different stop on the boat. That's all it was. The triangle trade, we just took different, it became an octagon at one point in time. That's all it is. We're all different stops on the same boat. But we all agreed on one thing. We're called Latinos. But then the alphabets came out of nowhere. And they stuck their noses from the mountains of Caucasus and decided that they were going to put Latinx on our names. And then they were just like, and now you guys have to go by that. Get the fuck out of here. How you going to tell me what to call me? How you going to tell me what I'm called? I was it before you even knew what it was. What you talking? What? Latinx? Do you want to know why it's called Latino? Because the Spanish language is a masculine and feminine language. There are things that there's an L, there's an ella, that begins with an A, that begins with an O. They're feminine and masculine. That's what things are. And when things are talked about as a whole, it's brought up in the masculine, like Latinos. And then there's Latinas. That's all there is to it. Latinx, what the fuck are you talking about? I ain't no X-Man. I'm a man. That's all there is to it. I'm a Latino. My sister's a Latina. That's what are you talking about?
I just have one question.
What
do you want me to title this in the timestamps?
I don't know. When you go to Pornhub Do you type in Latinxes or do you type in big booty Latinas?
Yo, this brother's tripping, man. This brother's tripping.
Watch Last of Us.
Put your mic down.
Watch Last of Us.
Yo, on that note, are we done? No, are you done? Are you done?
Are we finished? Are we done? I'm done with that little rant. I'm sorry where that came from.
Say bye. Are you okay? You back on track?
Everybody go watch Last of Us. I hope that this makes people want to play the game. I didn't play the game for a very long time. It's got to be in like one of the 5 to 10 greatest video games of all time, and it's more due to the story than it is the gameplay aspects. But this show is nailing this game by the way people look, the way people act, the way that you interact with clickers, and like how that stuff moves. Like certain scenes are taking straight from the video game, and it's done in such a glorious manner. It's easily the best video game adaptation that I've ever seen. And I was thinking, like, what is the best? And someone had brought up in a comment section, they were like, what about Arcane? And I was like, I forgot that was even a video game. That's how good that TV show was. But Last of Us is definitely a better version. And I know that Amazon Prime has got their hands on the God of War franchise, and they're supposed to be making a show. If it's anything as accurate and as I don't know what word I'm looking for.
That's the new wave video game TV shows.
Yeah, they've done superheroes, right? What's next? If they can translate it into TV as well, if they've done with The Last of Us, and they're gonna put this much love, thought, and care into it, I'm all here for it.
There's a lot of stuff I would like to see on TV show. Halo was trash.
Oh my god, I forgot that was even a thing.
I could see Gears of War.
Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Listen.
I was gonna say, like, that was your franchise.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I mean, God of War is already there. Uncharted was just a movie. It wasn't a very good movie, but it was a movie. Sonic has been killing it. Sonic was really good.
Sonic has been killing it.
We got the Super Mario movie getting ready to come out.
Yep. Okay.
I'll just say it. Things are good. Detective Pikachu.
Okay. Oh, I never seen that one. You did tell me it was dope, though.
But I also told you I had a bad experience in that movie theater. Like, we had some shitty people in that movie.
Oh, okay.
So, like, it didn't help that it wasn't the best movie, and we had some shitty people in there. It was like, it just made the movie. It was just like, I don't ever want to think about this again.
Got you.
But
I did start another TV show that didn't need to be spoke of. I didn't even get through the first episode. Was that 90s show?
It's not the way.
Nah.
Whoa, bro! We went this whole time. We haven't even talked about Abbott. There was 2 Abbott episodes.
Wow. Go ahead. Let's go. We cannot not give Abbott his time.
All right. So we've had 2 episodes.
What was the last episode?
The last episode is Gregory's father shows up.
Yes.
And like
played by none other than Orlando Jones. My bad.
Are you Barbara? Are you Barbara right now?
I'm Barbara. I love that Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom is from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes. But yes, Orlando Jones, which, I mean, he's magnificent in everything he does, man. I think you believe he got his start on Mad TV, if I'm not mistaken.
No. He didn't used to do that, but like he was definitely in movies. Like he was in The Replacements. He was in Double Take.
Wasn't all that after Mad TV?
Was he on Mad TV? I think you're confusing him with Phil Lamar.
Am I?
That's the UPS man.
Oh no, I wouldn't get them confused.
So maybe he was on Mad TV.
He was in Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe he was on Mad TV, but like it's funny because like I had literally just watched Drumline the other day, and it was just like that.
He was on Mad TV.
It was? All right. But it was just like I watched Drumline and he's the hit him with the flight of the bubble.
Oh yeah.
And he also, one of his best roles is he plays Anansi on The American Gods.
Yeah, which they cut him out of, I heard.
They did.
Yeah, I never watched the show, but I did hear about him.
Did you ever see the Anansi speech? Where he's talking about like slavery and things like that?
Yes.
Crushed it.
He was in Biker Boys.
He's in a lot of stuff.
Double Take.
Regardless of the fact, he plays Gregory's father, and he runs his own lawnmower business, and he winds up coming to the school to see, like, you know, kind of get an update on like how Gregory's just been doing, like, in general. And
I love how the principal was like, he gave her a business card. I was like, what you looking at me like that for, Gregory? He gave me his number.
So you better stop tripping. But and then that's when Barbara and Jacob find out that Gregory's been the one that's been tending to the garden this whole time. And
they were tight.
Barbara gave an amazing, like, monologue where she was doing like a lot of alliteration. She was like, "You were tilling and tilling," and Jake was like, "Hit her with one more, bro." And I was like, she was just crushing him and just lighting them up. But yeah, just and at the end of the day, his father, it just like this is the first time like his father has ever seen him as competent, has ever given him any sort of compliment, and he offers him a job running the business with him so that way he could eventually pass the business on to him. Gregory turns down the job because like, you know, he comes to the realization that the reason why he has so much confidence, why he's different, is because of the work that he's doing at Abbott. And so it's like, if that's what's giving me all this confidence and all this other stuff, then this is what I need to continue to be doing.
And one of the big unfolding tales is Janine goes on a date with the friend
Vin Staples.
And there's some underlining there.
Okay.
Because I feel like Janine maybe, I know she knows, but like she won't say it.
She's just now starting to figure it out.
Yes. So like there's a situation where she's gonna go on a date with Vince Staples, and I think she wants Gregory to care. And Gregory's hating at first, but then he's just like, okay, if you're gonna go on a date, just make sure not to order the ribs, because you eat ribs very aggressively. So you would think Janine would be like, all right, she's really someone who really cares about how people see her and how people think of her. And she goes on a date and orders the ribs. So either one of two things are happening. You're self-sabotaging so this doesn't work out so you can end up with Gregory, or you're trying Vince Staples to see like, all right, are you so authentic that you don't care about how crazy I look while I'm banging these ribs? Because I'm definitely banging these ribs. And I'm offering you some ribs too. Like, you want some? She looked like Marlon Wayans looked in White Chicks.
She was busting them things down.
She was busting them things down. So it was just like, I want to see where it goes. Like,
there was a pretty interesting point, like at one point. She also very clearly is not telling him that these things are happening, because like he finds out because they're all in the break room,
right?
And Jacob says something, and then she's like, "Oh, like don't you have your date with?" I can't remember Vince Staples' character's name, and stuff like that. And he goes, "Watch out for him," Gregory goes, "Oh, watch out for him," and she goes, "Why would I need to watch out for him?" And he's just like, "No, I'm just saying, like, watch out." She's like, "Why would you be friends with someone I need to watch out for?" And I was like,
Janine got real on you for a second there, buddy.
Yeah. And it was just like, it was another thing where it's like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, are you doing this thing where you're trying to make me jealous and you're dating this? Or like, are you really trying to give this like an honest shot?
Right.
Or like, but like, you can also see that like, she's putting some sort of feelers or tests out there for Gregory.
Right.
And I can't tell if he's passing or failing.
He's failing.
He's fumbling?
Yeah, because he's awkward. He's awkward. I think the last time that he didn't fumble was when he was dancing with her at the club.
A lot of people are like, they're on this Asperger's train. Like, he's got Asperger's, and like, they're waiting for the
I've been hearing a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, when he got his award, he was like, this is for Gregory and the Gregorys around the world or something. He said like that. Yeah. So it kind of almost seemed like it was confirmation of that, but you never know.
I can't decide if I like it better that they're not going to address it and just let it be what it is, or if like I would want them to address them finding out and like moving forward with it at some point in time.
I think it's real life situations where people are awkwardly trying to navigate social settings of liking each other, and rather than just saying it, they act like high schoolers, and that's what they're doing, acting like high schoolers. Because I mean, Janine's been in one relationship her entire life. Yeah. You can tell Gregory's socially awkward, so he may not have been in any solid relationships. Yeah, best scene ever. Best scene ever. My favorite. Best scene ever. And like, he has this one relationship that he has going on with his student's mom, but he doesn't seem like he almost seems like he's doing it as a chore rather than as an interest in the relationship. You know what I mean? So who knows? They need to grow up.
Yeah. So then the episode before that was the fight episode. Oh, and it was Janine has two students.
Only in America.
Janine has two students in her class that are not getting along.
Right. And
everybody's just kind of telling her like, yo, separate them. They don't like each other. And Janine is kind of like, no, they need to learn how to work with each other.
Right.
And because she refuses to back down from it, it just causes things to escalate.
Right.
And escalate. And
she's like, I thought y'all decided to come to an agreement. Like, yeah, we agreed that our sisters was gonna fight. It's like when the girl walked up on Janine and was like, "You're a little small for an 8th grader, but we can still get it on." She's like,
I was like, what is going on?
She's like, I'm a teacher. But it was an enjoyable episode. And I got the principal, what's her name?
Ava,
she always makes an episode for me. Even if she's only on screen for just a few seconds, those few seconds are the best for me. It's like, because when she came in and broke up the fight, it was like, only in America. I was just like, yo, what is going on right now?
I can't remember what Barbara said to him for them to stop, but it made me
She just put on her mom voice. She put on her auntie voice, and they were just like, oh, shoot, all right, we gonna chill. If Miss Barbara's yelling, we did something wrong. But, yeah, I think it all started because one girl said the other girl stinks, and the other girls... She said something about the other girl, and then they drew these portraits of it. You had to trace the whole body and then draw what you think the person was. And like she was just like, I drew all these little piles of turds.
She said,
and like
she's feeling dookie.
She stinks. I was like, mind you, the unveiling of it, because it was like rolled up.
Like a
She
scroll.
rolled it out. It was like, and it was just like, man. And when she showed it to like, Barbara and everybody else, she was like, "Is that a Doogie portrait?" It's like, "Yes, it is. Yes, it is." Yes, I was like, I was loving it, man. It was like, then you had the one kid in the back of the class who was just
that
like,
was a thing.
What did he say?
He had the dashiki.
He
on.
never had a dashiki.
And like, he's like, I hate to see my sisters fight. And I was like, yo. It's like,
and that's not the same kid who played the trash guy on Halloween.
I think it is the same kid.
Because I felt like that kid was a little darker, but he could have had makeup on or something.
Yeah, because he was trying to look like the Jinn.
Right. But it was hilarious.
But I feel like that episode was more of a vehicle to get the kids to do more things.
Yes.
Because like they do have like every couple of episodes is like that, where it's like they're more focused on the kids, so we get to see more of the kids acting. And I felt like they crushed it.
Yeah, comedic genius.
Wait, so was one of those episodes was also the fundraiser one, right?
The fundraiser one was the same as the date one when the dad showed up, I believe.
Okay, because like that Barbara's whole thing was like she wanted to take them on a field trip, but like in order to do that, they needed to sell candy, but they weren't selling candy correctly. She has to.
She asked Ava.
She has to ask Ava for help.
Yes.
And Ava's got them scamming.
Yes.
And it was like
upcharging the candy bars, letting them keep some change, selling them for all crazy reasons other than what it was originally for.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, when she was roasting that boy with his high water pants.
Yo, killing that man. Killing him.
What did she say? I forget what she said, but she was like, she asked him a question. And she was like, what? He was like, oh, because your pants look like they missing a Hemsworth.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yo, what?
Yo, Chris and Liam.
Yes, Chris and Liam.
Tearing that boy
missing
up.
a Hemsworth. She was like, oh, where's the flood? I was like, yo, that's instantly the first joke anybody goes with when you see the high water pants. It was like, bro felt so bad. His white socks were showing on like he was Mike Jackson, bro. Like, it was terrible.
But I think the crux of that episode was like this. What?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Oh, so you
I
said,
like crux.
But it's like, it's the ideology of like how to help students in their situations. And it's like Barbara is super sympathetic and you do everything by the book. And it's like, for the most part, like she does the things for them. Whatever I can do, whatever I can do for you to help you proceed. Where Ava's mindset is, first of all, I'm going to roast you.
Right.
I'm gonna get this off. So it's like, whatever it is, you need to have tough skin, and you need to be able to do things on your own. And if I am making fun of you and I'm trying to get you to do these things and you're not doing them, then you're not going to survive. Not because of like what people won't do for you, but because you don't have what it takes in you to get it done. And then you'll fall into the lap of the Barbaras around the world. But it's like she sees like, because of his high water pants and stuff like that, she's like, well, he upcharged and he made all this extra money. Now he has the money so that way he can get a new pair of pants. So that way he can stop looking crazy. And he now knows that he has a skill in her. And like, Barbara eventually takes him under his wing to come to the church to sell some stuff or whatever as well.
And through all that, there is a real situation where parents can't afford to get their kids stuff all the time because they're growing faster than the clothes are being made. And teachers or principals are going above and beyond to making sure that they're prepared for these situations.
Right.
And while that was a comedic part of the scene, that child was in a stressful situation and she provided support and layered it with throwing some jabs at them, but still saying like, "Here I am, still here to help you, just so you know."
Right.
But I'm also gonna let you know that people are gonna come for you. You need to be ready for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, so I thought that was pretty dope.
Was it 3 episodes? Am I tripping? Or like, what, are we sure that was
might
a
have been
week?
3. I feel like 3 episodes in a week is wild though.
But it's been 2 weeks. No?
Yeah, that's 2 episodes. Or maybe we were watching one that night we were recording, and then it was 2 weeks and 2 more episodes came out. I don't know.
No, that's 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I guess the fight was happening at the same time as the selling the fundraiser.
Right.
That was at the same time.
Got you.
But yeah, Abbot Elementary, as always, super solid. I know there's an episode on tonight.
There is.
No, it's
The
not.
challenge
right
is also on tonight.
Oh, I'm caught up on the challenge if you want to talk about the challenge.
Nope, we're gonna save it till next time.
All
It's
right.
about to be final. It's about to be. They about to run.
They're
This
about to
final.
go to the finals.
About to run this final soon. Yep, I'm excited.
Do you want to make a guess now? Is tonight's episode the last episode before the final?
No. Oh, is this the last episode? Yes, I believe so.
I believe so too.
I believe so.
All right.
Yep. I think another whole team is gonna go home.
Well, hopefully, we put some stuff on your docket or like shows that you are watching, and we got to talk about certain things that you wanted to. If you had some questions or some things that you wanted us to tackle in these shows, but we didn't get to, make sure you guys leave them in the comments. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share, so that way we can start giving you more content at a more frequent rate. It'll be much more appreciated. We'll see you guys in part 2 for Popcorn Pop. We've got 3 movies for you.
My mom.